I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 187. Just a reminder before we start that you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. Do not forget that we have our October contest. It is in high gear, folks. We are giving away one copy of Luigi's Mansion 3 for the Switch. Listen to the rest of the show for entry details. I'm your host, Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man?
Dan, you know we have the contest going on right now.
Oh,
right?
Yes. Luigi's Mansion 3.
Now, why are we giving away Luigi's Mansion 3 this October?
Because it's spooky.
Oh, it is so very spooky. And you know what?
October. I love October.
So do I. It's my favorite month and my favorite holiday.
I love this time of year, you know, like I just love like the whole I love going like I'm a little all right, listen, I'm a little sappy. I like going pumpkin picking and stuff. And I love watching horror movies and
Yeah, you're a little sappy. I love seeing people chopped up.
I wish they could bring back listen, Chris Rock is bringing back Saw.
I know. I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of not.
I kind of want something different. I don't want.
Well, do you now think Chris Rock is not going to bring his own take and slant on horror movies in general, and specifically the whole Jigsaw thing?
You're gonna see Jigsaw, the little doll, coming out on the bike. Mm-hmm. Hey, man, I got a question for you.
No. You know what I want, and you'll probably get this reference because we're just about the same age. Yeah, exactly. We're old. I want to see a scene where somebody steps on somebody's Pumas, all right, and then it erupts into a whole big thing.
Oh, come on.
You remember that? You remember that song parody he had, right?
Yeah, I know.
No matter what a stripper tells you, there's no sex in the champagne room.
Oh God, that's 97.
That's right. It was like a riff off that Baz Luhrmann song, Always Wear Sunscreen.
Yeah.
And it's like, if somebody steps on your Pumas, let it slide. That's a deep cut reference right there. If you put that in the movie, oh my God, that'd be 10 out of 10 for me.
I want something different. We could do Jigsaw in space. I mean, we already had Jason in space. We haven't had Freddy in space.
There's been like eight different Saw movies, right? I think Saw 3D was the last one.
No. Saw. It was Jigsaw was the last one. I think.
Oh, right. They had, I guess, the origin story of Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Of the Tobin Bell's character. Yeah. I heard that wasn't that great.
It was okay. It was okay. No. It wasn't great, but it was like.
Oh, see, like there it is. You're like, no. It was okay. It was okay. Yeah, I'm like, oh, it was a good movie. Nah, it wasn't that good.
I said okay, and it's great.
You walked it back a little. Yeah, that's good.
It was good. Like modern day and a prequel, only one.
Oh, interesting. The first one was a legit great movie. Not even just a good horror movie.
Iconic.
Yeah, it was like such a twist. There was many twists in that movie. The way they kind of set everything up, it all kind of worked together. Like the plot was cohesive. Like, you know, it had this nice horror backdrop, but like it was a good movie. I gotta watch that movie again.
You know what I love? I love the Sci-Fi Channel has like the 30 and 30, like the 30 horror movies in 30 days. Mm-hmm. I always love watching those.
Yeah, they're great, man. They're great. There was one that was a take on kind of like the Friday the 13th slasher movie. It came out a couple years ago, I think. It was.
Are you talking about a B movie or like in the movie theaters?
No. It wasn't a B movie. It was like a regular theatrical release. Man, I can't think of the name of it, but it was like, oh, they have to survive till the morning. It was like a whole thing, and then I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some more research to look this up. And,
I have no idea what you're saying.
Yeah.
Listen, if anybody out there knows what Dave's talking about, tweet at us.
Nah, yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, let me know what I'm thinking of, please.
A horror movie that came out a couple of years ago that said they had to survive until morning.
Well, it was like a riff on the whole like slasher movie thing. So they were like, it was a horror movie, sure, but there was a lot of like winks and nods and like, isn't this like bit kind of silly? And they would like kind of riff on the slasher genre while still being a slasher movie. I'll come correct next week, Dan. All right, I'll come correct next week.
In the middle of the show, is the name of the movie.
I'm just gonna be it's this. Yeah, no. Hopefully, I wish.
All right.
So anyway,
Dave. Mm-hmm. How was your weekend? How's your weekend going?
My weekend's going well. We were just talking about Halloween. I am in high gear in my costume. It's really coming together. Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
It's really coming together.
All right. I mean, we're not gonna spoil it. When Halloween comes and the Halloween party comes, we'll post pictures all over the site and Twitter.
That's right. We'll see. That's right.
If you can get this, I would be impressed because you've done some. You've had some iconic costumes.
Oh yeah. There is a video game through line through most of my costumes.
I like the Tekken one you had.
Oh yeah. Heihachi or Brian Fury? Because I did
Brian Fury.
2 characters. Yeah,
I thought Brian Fury was a good one.
Yeah. Fury was good. I love that costume. I thought it was good. There were some problems with it. The little plastic bandolier thing that I had, the bullets just wouldn't stay, so they kept falling out. It was a nightmare. Because he's got like 2 bandoliers, but he doesn't wear them over the shoulder, which is what you're supposed to wear these. You're supposed to kind of like crisscross them. He wears them like across his waist, and they kind of hang down. Right? It just kind of looks cooler, I guess. And like the bullets just kept falling out because it's like cheap plastic. It's like $5. It was a nightmare. But the one that I did before that, the Heihachi costume, it was funny because it was like Tekken Tag was out, but I wanted to do his like Tekken 3 costume where he wears the red jacket with like the white fur around it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right, I just have to get a leather jacket and maybe modify it, and that'll be that, all right? And I went all over the city. I'm pretty sure I went to like the 5 boroughs, trying to find something that would work. And long story short, the first place that I went to had the jacket with like the white fur lining, and it was perfect. I'm like, that's it. That's what I get. It was amazing that I was like, well, let me come back. And it was in my neighborhood on the corner for like $10, a little like thrift store. I'm like, this is amazing. It's serendipitous. So
well, you go really all out for your costumes.
I put effort.
I usually go as the same guy every year.
Mm-hmm. You go as a businessman or just got off work?
Yeah, pretty much man with a job.
There you go. Loosen up the tie a little bit, mess up the hair a little bit, have a drink in your hand.
It's
a good costume.
Me and my friend Brian went to a party. It was after work for both of us, and he's a construction worker. Mm-hmm. So he says, everyone was just like, "Oh my God, we love your costume." He's like, "Thanks."
He just came from work, right?
And I was like, "Yeah, I'm a businessman. I own the construction company."
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
what you can do. You know what you can do to enhance the costume a little bit if you want, right? Because you wear the nice suit and the slacks and the the button down and the blazer and all that, right? Exactly. Right. All you got to do is get a shirt with an S on it and like undo like a button or two.
Pull out. Oh,
you could be Black Superman. There you go.
Black Superman.
Right?
Okay. I like. Yeah. No, I can dig that. Well, you know what he could do. You know what he could do if he put it. I said, you have the hard. He had the hard hat and everything. I said, if you put glasses on, you can be one of the village people.
You could. Hey, it's 2019. Anything is up for game.
You can be the village people.
That's right. That's right.
So, I'm having a great weekend.
Yeah.
I was really busy during the week, so This is the only time I get to mention anything about wrestling. I know this is not the wrestling podcast, but the Wrestling Wars are back. It's been 18 years since WCW folded.
That's right. That's right. Since McMahon bought him out.
Yeah. So the Wrestling Wars, or AEW and WWE / NXT, are back. I actually just finished watching Raw. I finished just watching Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, which was awesome.
I saw a little bit of that, actually. Like, they got The Rock came out for like a quick second.
Yeah,
that was great. Yeah,
AEW had some hiccups. I'll say real quick, they had some hiccups. I didn't like for a company that said they want to be sort of different from WWE and stick with continuity, things that seem more realistic, because WWE's biggest issue is they sometimes scrap things.
Oh yeah, they're just like, the storyline's not working. Yeah, we're just gonna end it.
And then we put you in another storyline, and the transition just they make sense.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, did you forget what you did last week? Because what you're doing this week doesn't connect to last week, and then that takes me out of the immersion. Right?
100%. It doesn't feel like there's a cohesive story going on.
So I love the production of AEW, what they did. But some of the stuff just didn't make sense, and it's their first show, so
yeah. There's going to be some hiccups.
There's going to be some hiccups, but I'm excited. I just love the form. I love the format. I love the production. It's good to hear Tony Schiavone, the voice of WCW, and JR, the old voice of the Attitude Era, together as a commentary team.
That's right. Yeah, JR was the best. I loved him.
So I got my two cents in about wrestling. Love wrestling.
Nice.
Can't wait to see what next week brings.
And it's got Chris Jericho behind it, and Chris Jericho, by all accounts, is a super stand-up guy. Really funny. I've heard him on numerous podcasts talking about wrestling, talking about comics and nerd culture and all that. Like, he seems like a real good dude. So.
Well, he's a villain right now, so I don't think he wants to be perceived as a good dude.
Well,
as a dick.
Sure. In his character, that's one thing, but yeah.
Kayfabe's not dead, baby.
Kayfabe? Oh.
Yeah, make believe. But you know what also isn't dead? We talked about it last week. The deal between Sony and Marvel over Spider-Man.
Dan, that's the best news in the world. So
I know.
I figured this was going to happen. I figured cooler heads were going to prevail, right?
What?
But there was a linchpin in this whole conversation, right? This is what it seems.
And it's Tom Holland.
Holland was the linchpin.
He saved the day. He's a real life superhero. He's a real life superhero. He sort of appealed to Sony, the Disney CEO.
Yeah.
About hey, let's make this thing work. So he was an integral part in Disney, because remember, Sony pulled out because Disney wanted actual money, because they weren't getting any money. I don't think on any of the Spider-Man movies. They just they pretty much created the movies and didn't get anything from it, but they got to use it in their movie. They got to use Spider-Man in their movies.
Right. So I can, that Spider-Man's inclusion in the MCU brought people in to see. It was a big like reveal in the trailer for Civil War, right? And it's like, oh, Spider-Man, right? And the way they did his origin story this time around, I thought was great. And it breathed some new life into the MCU, I think, right? But all that being said, they didn't get any money off Spider-Man's inclusion, right?
They didn't get any money from the actual movies. I'm sure they got merchandise.
So does that mean any Marvel movie that featured Spider-Man they didn't make money on?
Well, any movie with a Marvel character is a Marvel sort of like, it's a Marvel movie-ish. It's not an MCU, right? Like X-Men is a Marvel movie technically, but it's not in the MCU.
Oh, right. So like now
it will be
the two Spider-Man movies.
Spider-Man movie,
the two Spider-Man movies.
That's made by Sony. Marvel doesn't get anything from.
Right.
But they get to use the character
in their own movies.
movie.
Yeah.
But the problem is they're using all their resources to make the Spider-Man movies.
Right. So it's it's a little bit of a run
with the story and the idea and
right. Yeah. Here's how we make it work. Here's how not to shit the bed. Right here, you want to make a good movie. Here you go. And Feige's the piece. He's the linchpin in all this. Like, here's how it's going to work.
But before that, I know years ago they tried to buy Spider-Man.
Of course.
And, it's like $1 billion, and they turned it down. And Sony's not stupid. They're going to hold that until there's an issue and they're like in financial peril. It's like, we need a quick $1 billion. Hey, Disney.
Yeah.
Spider-Man back. 1.5
Of course
billion.
they do.
$2 billion, and you can have them back. But we still want to keep the exclusive rights to the video game as long as we're making consoles. That would be like a caveat. Like, you can have them back. But we want to be involved.
Because if they give the rights up to Sony or up to Disney, right? Disney will just find whatever developer or publisher, and they'll probably publish it. They'll get a AAA developer, and they'll say, make this game and put it on every damn platform known to man, right? And then Sony loses out on millions of dollars because now it's not exclusive to PlayStation anymore, right? Like, that makes sense. Yeah.
But Disney, they're tying up loose ends, right? I'm sure they always talk. CEOs always talk, and they're like, come on, sell me Spider-Man back. I give it $2 billion. Right? Like, they're tying up loose ends right now because they're doing great. They're doing fantastic. They're about to launch Disney Plus, and unfortunately, all the Netflix shows that they worked on, they're gone, or at least no new seasons are going to come on Netflix. Hopefully, I'm praying that they're after 2 years they're going to come over to Netflix to Disney Plus and come up with some new shows.
It's a possibility for sure.
It's a possibility, but I don't think they're going to go that way because the Netflix show took a darker tone, right? They took the tone that the DC universe did and made it and did it better.
Oh, it worked because they kind of gave a shit about it, right? It was still in the Marvel universe because they did drop references to some incidents or whatever.
Event.
Yeah, the big event that happened in New York. Yeah, the thing that happened over on the East Side, the thing that these people weren't involved in.
But Disney and Netflix aren't really playing nice anymore. Now, Disney will no longer accept Netflix ads on its entertainment networks. Which is
yeah. I mean that makes sense. Why would you want people to promote the competing service, right?
It's ad revenue right there. They're paying you. Listen, when I watch,
it is. Yeah.
I was watching back because I DVR'd all the wrestling shows. I didn't get a chance to watch it live. I was watching Raw, and a bunch of AEW ads were on there, promoting AEW on WWE television. Right, so they bought ad space.
Wow, interesting.
WWE let that happen. I mean, I don't know.
It's not WWE. It's Fox. Fox is like they're the ones.
No. It was USA Network. Raw's on USA.
Oh, at the time, yeah.
No. Raw is always and will always be on USA. And
SmackDown
is on Fox.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there was no AEW ads. I don't remember any AEW ads on SmackDown, but it was AEW ads on Raw. Funny enough.
Wow, interesting. They're like USA's like, yeah, we want that money. We'll take your money. We'll take your money. It's funny, like the tiny wrinkle in this, and I think there's probably some deal or whatever, some sort of contract behind the scenes, but ESPN Plus or ESPN in general is not part of this ad ban from Netflix, right? So if you're watching ESPN, you can still see Netflix commercials for Stranger Things or just a service in general or like whatever. So I feel like they had something inked out ahead of time, right?
Or maybe no. You know what? How about this? Maybe the sports leagues have a deal with Netflix, and ESPN obviously is all about sports, and sports league says no. NFL is like no, we got something with that. You may have something against Netflix, but we don't. So when when you're airing NFL games or like anything regarding NFL, it's okay that you have a Netflix ad. That's okay. That's one of our.
Yeah, for us, we're like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, so maybe that's why they kept it on ESPN because they don't piss off the sports leagues. Sure,
because I mean, if Disney had their way, it would be across the board. No Netflix ads, no references to Netflix. Just kind of wipe them out of existence.
So, all right, let's get into video games. Let's talk video games. We're a video game podcast, right? Sometimes
we are a video game podcast.
Sometimes I think we're Disney's podcast.
Hey, it's all nerd culture. It all comes together.
We're the MCU pod.
The MCU pod. Hey.
You getting good pickups this week?
Yes, I did get some good pickups. I only got a couple of games. I got Resident Evil 0 for the GameCube. That's great. Fitting in with the horror theme with October and Halloween and all that. I did not realize, I'm a little salty, Dan, the listing on eBay, I did buy it on eBay for a pretty good price. Listing on eBay did not mention that the case was a Blockbuster case.
Oh, I love those. Love those. Got to give those a good home.
They have such a, I knew as soon as I opened it up, I'm like, wait, this texture is not the same texture. This plastic is, it's a Blockbuster case, right? And it's different inside. They have disc 1 on one side, disc 2 on the other, as opposed to the official GameCube cases, which they have the 2 slots on the same side where they overlap the discs, and then the manual goes in the left-hand side. So I'm a little upset. It was still in good condition, it was still fine, but they didn't mention it was a different case.
They should have mentioned, but they didn't show pictures? You didn't go through all the pictures?
Yeah, they did show the pictures, but it's really hard to see. I don't know if they necessarily showed the inside.
Because they probably didn't know it was a Blockbuster case.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Well, listen, everybody who's selling games online or at a garage sale or a thrift shop doesn't mean they know games, right? Doesn't mean they're in the know.
Dan, you're supposed to be on my side here. You're supposed to be the eBay seller was evil. I need some compassion.
You have to thoroughly look at all the pictures.
I know. I have a feeling there may have been a shot of the game case opened, and I should have looked at that more carefully. So if that is the case, that's on me, because that would have been an immediate tell that this is not an original case. So other than that, though, I picked up Thrillville for the PS2 for $250.
What game is that?
I think it's some sort of roller coaster type game. Thrillville. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on Xbox too, mid 2000s game. It's really nothing to write home about. Resident Evil is really the crown jewel in the pickups this week of the 2 games that I picked up. So,
okay,
I know, or at least I think you did pretty well in the pickups department, right?
I randomly walked into the Nintendo store just because I wanted to kill some time.
Randomly walked into the Nintendo store.
Yeah,
you do work right there. You just pop.
I mean, it's not across the street. It's pretty close. It's a good 5-minute walk.
A good 5-minute walk.
It's a good 5-minute walk out of the way.
I get it.
And I saw some amiibo I didn't even have. I was like, I have the Majora's Mask Link and the Ocarina of Time Link amiibos.
Nice.
Had to pick those up. So I got those in the collection. My amiibo collection.
Yep.
I was in Target. Every time I go to Target, I just go to the clearance aisle to see if they have anything good.
Sometimes.
That's you for the PS4 for $2.
Oh, this is one of the PlayLink games.
Yeah,
they had a whole big thing where it's you could play with your phone, and they're fun, casual party games. It's actually a really good game, surprisingly.
Really?
Yeah.
They had it for $2, so I picked that up.
That's actually, I got mine for 99 cents at GameStop.
Nice.
Yeah, they were fire selling them at one point. There's a bunch of them. There's that one. There's Hidden Agenda's another one.
I have Hidden Agenda. I have that one.
Knowledge is Power, and I think there's a 4th one as well, which I forget. I think it may be a singing game or something. They're all pretty fun for what they are. I think they came out at $20, which is a little bit high. 15 maybe. I'm pretty sure it was 20. But for $5 and under, yeah.
$2 was $2 was my price.
There you go. Right?
And I only got it because I wouldn't have got it.
You're never gonna play it.
Even at $2, I wouldn't have got it if I didn't find something else. And I found Dead Rising 4 Frank's Big Package.
Oh, you found Frank's big package. Well,
it was lost, so it couldn't have been that big.
How'd you carry his big package home, Dan? How did that fit?
I took an Uber.
There you go. Can you just like open up the trunk? I got to put this big package back there.
I guess
it's awesome. That was like the DLC pack or something like that, right?
Dead Rising 4, all the DLC. I already have Dead Rising 4 for Xbox One, but this is one with all the DLC.
I love when they do physicals of the.
It was like $5.
DLC. Yeah,
$5. So I was like, if I'm gonna get the one for $5, why not get the one for $2? $7. Boom. I finally picked up Samurai Showdown for PS4.
Very nice.
Didn't want to get it day one. I couldn't. I'm not a huge fan of Samurai Showdown, so I couldn't justify spending $60 for it.
Is it on sale right now?
It's half off.
$30. That's what I'm talking about.
So that
now
this
was a Target. This is a Target.
No,
sale,
no.
right?
I actually went to GameStop because I went to GameStop to pick up Ghostbusters, the video game remastered on the Switch, which was exclusive to GameStop.
Yep. Now that one is definitely not on sale. That has the Switch tax in full effect.
No. It's $30 across the board.
Oh, it's 30. It's not 60. Wow.
No. It's not 60. It's $29.99 for all the systems.
Good on you, Ghostbusters.
No Switch tax. But I had to get it for the Switch.
Yeah, of course.
Because I already have the real Ghostbusters for PS3, and I'm like halfway through it. So it made no sense for me to get it for the PS4.
Sure.
I can't exactly bring my save over, so
you're not gonna beat it either way on PS3.
I'm gonna beat
so it doesn't matter.
That's a challenge, and I'm gonna go.
Yeah, go for it, Dan. I want to see you complete this game. I'm trying to get you to be better.
I'm gonna beat this game. I'm gonna beat this game.
I'm like your personal Tony Robbins.
So, all right. Well, speaking of beating games, Dave, as we always try to start the show but epically fail.
Oh.
What have you been playing?
Oh, I've been waiting for this all episode, Dan. I have been playing Link's Awakening on the Switch.
Nice.
I have
How far are you?
I just beat the Bird Temple, the Bird Tower, the Bird Dungeon. It's my favorite dungeon in the game. It's one of the most unique Zelda dungeons. I don't necessarily want to spoil anything. Have you beaten the game? I forget. Have you?
No, I haven't beaten it yet.
You haven't beaten the game. I'm not going to spoil that dungeon for you. It has a very, very interesting mechanic. It's kind of neat. And then the final boss is like pretty cool. You fight this giant bird. Spoilers. But that's all I'll say. It's a very good dungeon. I think there's one more dungeon, and then I can wake up the windfish egg and beat the boss and get off the island. So I'm pretty close to the end. I feel like by next episode I will complete it. And the other game I've been playing that we have been playing, we finally got into Anthem after all these months. Finally got into Anthem. No, Dan. Why would you say it like that? Why would you say it? Are you a little down on Anthem?
I was hyped to play it when we said we should play Anthem, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, the only reason why I didn't want to play Anthem is because it wasn't just bricking PS4s; it actually was bricking Xboxes too.
Yeah. There was some small issues with Xbox as well. Yeah.
I said I'll wait till they have a patch.
Right. Same. It's like, well, let's not tempt fate.
I spent a lot of money on this PS4.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right? Because they're gonna owe me a new console. So I wanted to hold up some time. So I was a little hyped. I was pretty hyped to play this. It is definite. I love the feel of being Iron Man, essentially.
Oh, right? It feels great. Yeah, it's real. Like the controls are tight. Controls are super tight. The graphics are great.
It is the Iron Man game we never got, even though we are getting an Iron Man game in VR. It's coming out on PSVR February 28th.
Yeah.
But I got to say, it was a little... I could see why the player base is dying out a little. It's a little bare bones, still bare bones. You could probably... They said you could beat this game faster than you could beat Order 1886.
Yeah. Let's not get crazy, Dan. Let's not get crazy.
and I can beat it by myself. I don't actually need. I don't need a party.
Sure. It's more fun when you get people together. Then you get the voice chat going and all that. We did like a mission or two. I thought it felt really good. The graphics were great, even though there was a little bit of pop in here and there. The one thing that got me was it's not an MMO. It is very much a looter shooter type situation. You go into instance settings with up to 4 people, and you do that mission, right? And granted, we've only done the one mission so far, so we're still like pretty green. We leveled up once or twice. You can do some customizations and all that, but like the home hub world is just you, right? You're there and you can run around and do stuff. It's not like World of Warcraft. It's not even like Anthem per se, where like you can see like a bunch of people running around in the game world, right? There's no open worldness to it, which I thought was
it's not like the Division.
Right. Nor that even, where you can like see everybody running around. Like
zone, we can see everybody running around.
Right, exactly. Now, granted, you do instanced missions and whatnot, but at least the game world itself is open, and there's like firefights in the street, and people can kind of come together and kind of fight with you. Like it's a different experience. I'll say that.
The story is lame though. Like they could have did better with the story.
Not about it, huh?
I play games mostly for the story.
This is why you love single player. You hate doing multiplayer. You're in it for the narrative, right? Which I get. I get. It can be great.
Even a Division has a better story.
I don't know about that.
Well, I'm not saying the Division story is great.
Like the backstory is cool, but you're not even about that in Anthem.
No.
Wow, I was kind of about. I'm definitely kind of about it. I don't know. I think we're a little bit at odds.
I like the spirit of where they were trying to go with it, and it just could have been better. Like I was curious to know what is the Anthem, right? And then when I found out, I was like, that's kind of.
Well, there's definitely more to the story. We've only done like the one mission so far.
I'm sure there's a twist, but doing the opening, I mean. Well, we've done one mission together, but when you first pop in the game, you got to like go through sort of the 2 tutorial missions,
right? Which are just tutorial missions. Yeah.
I know, but they explain the story to tell you what world you're in and why you're fighting and who you are. And I was just like, it's kind of corny. I wasn't about the story. I expected better. I expected more.
Really?
Yeah.
Everyone was like, this game is okay. People were glowing about it.
Everyone was saying that they love the mechanics, and again, you're Iron Man essentially, right?
Yeah. The mechanics are super tight.
This should have just been an Iron Man game and call it a day. This would have been great. Where you're a team of Iron Man. Iron Man is gone, right? This should have came out after Marvel's Endgame.
Right.
Or where's Iron Man? You got to find Tony Stark. And we all jump in. We all found the armor.
Well, you can only have 2 characters in the game. One person is Iron Man and one person is War Machine. And maybe you can have somebody else be Iron Patriot.
This is the Iron Man open world we didn't know we wanted.
I think we knew we wanted it. We've been talking about it for the longest. You've been mentioning it for forever, like Iron Man in VR, and then they end up doing Iron Man in VR.
So. But I think it's funny how I mentioned, hey, there should be an Iron Man. The Anthem should just be an Iron Man game, and then the state of play happens the next day, and that's Iron Man. Right? And then out of nowhere, we started playing Anthem, and then they announced Iron Man VR release date.
Right. So I'm not gonna ask you if you're going to get Iron Man VR, because we all know you're going to get Iron Man VR. Are you actually going to play Iron Man VR? Because I know you hate all the wires.
I think this is the game that may get me to dust off my PSVR.
Ooh, you heard it here, folks. This could be the killer app, at least for Dad.
All right. So other than Anthem, I've really been playing The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening remake on my Switch Lite exclusively.
Yeah.
I have 6 instruments, but completed 7 dungeons. I don't know if you know, they actually added an extra dungeon in the game.
The color dungeon, that's right.
The color dungeon. So I beat the color dungeon.
Same.
Oh, so you beat that dungeon. All right, so you beat 7.
Yeah.
You said you did. You said so you've done 8 dungeons.
I don't count the color dungeon because it's optional.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I don't think you need to do the color dungeon because it was added for the DX version. It wasn't in the original, and it is like a little bit secret how you get it or how you get into it. Like I don't think it's part of the main storyline. But yeah, I mean you got to do.
I accidentally got it.
Oh, did you? Oh shit!
Yeah, I accidentally got it because I was just moving stuff around, and I was like, "Oh, this moves. This moves. I want to see if anything else moves."
Nice.
I am at the bird dungeon right now.
Mm-hmm. So it's such a fun dungeon.
I just walked in, and then I paused it, and I'll play it later on. Mm-hmm. So I guess we both will probably beat it by next week. Next show.
Yeah, I think so.
So, what color did you pick, by the way? Just out of curiosity.
Which color did I pick?
Yeah, you beat the color dungeon. You have the option of being red or blue.
I want the attack power, man. I want to be a beast.
Everybody picked red.
Yeah, man. Because then also you get the little mini Triforce of power, and you basically have quadruple strength for like a short term.
Everybody picked red. That's funny. I didn't see anybody online that picked blue. Nah,
nobody wants a blue tunic. Because you can beat it's ridiculous. You can beat bosses in like 4 hits, where they would take at least double that. Otherwise, you have to sit there and keep dodging all their damn stuff. So sure, you're taking like half damage or whatever, but it takes it twice as long to beat the boss.
I wish I would have found the color dungeon first.
Yeah, well, you can do it as soon as you get the Pegasus boots. Or you can technically do it at any time, I think, or after you get the power bracelet, maybe. So maybe after the second dungeon.
I wish I would have had it 2 dungeons ago. It would have been so much. It would have been a little bit helpful.
Of course.
But most of the bosses are easy anyway because this game was pretty easy because it was on Game Boy. Mm-hmm. Right, so they didn't want to make it too hard, too difficult because you only had 2 buttons at the time. So the bosses are are somewhat easy. But it still would have been a little bit more helpful. I mean, I've died maybe once or twice, so I probably wouldn't even did that if I would have beat the color dungeon first. So why don't we take a break?
Well, Dan, before we do that, remember our October contest is in high gear, and our secret code this week is King Boo. Send us that code via DM, private message, or email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com for entry. Note that you can enter once per episode. We will be dropping codes all October long. Also, for an additional entry, head on over to Twitter @RatedGForGamers and like our contest post, retweet, and make sure that you are following us. Good luck to everyone who enters.
All right, so now let's take a break. When we come back, we'll get into the top gaming news of last week. And we're back. All right, let's get into the top gaming news of last week. We have to start with our lead story, and that is Shawn Layton departs Sony. Sony Interactive Entertainment. He was the president of SIE, and just overnight, with little fanfare or anything, he's just gone.
Wow.
I mean, that was a little weird, right? That was just kind of weird. Like, I mean, he was there for a long time. He's been there since like the launch of the first PlayStation, the first E3.
He's been there since the $2.99 comment.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
So he's been with Sony for a long time, and just in a just in a tweet, they announced, it's a great emotion that we announced the Worldwide Studios chairman Shawn Layton is leaving. Right, Shawn Layton took over for Jack Tretton. Jack Tretton announced the PS4 at E3, and then he stepped down shortly after, and he took over. And he sort of led us through the PS4 phase. Yep. He did a great job. But this, I mean, he hasn't tweeted. He tweets a lot too, and he hasn't tweeted anything. If you remember, like Phil Spencer, he's wore the Battletoads t-shirts, teasing everybody.
Oh yeah.
We finally got like a Battletoads game, which looked terrible, by the way. FYI.
It does not look good.
No, it doesn't. So
that aside,
Sean Layton wore the Medieval T-shirt one year, and then it was like announced. I forgot how shortly. It was announced shortly after that.
Right.
So, but now 2/3 of the Game Award stage is gone. Remember, it was Sean Layton, Phil Spencer, and Reggie on stage last Game Awards.
That's right. The Great Trinity. Oh,
and now it's just Phil Spencer. He's the only one that's left.
I know. Well, someone's got to take up that mantle, right? Someone's got to. Get in there.
Sony is like doing this whole corporate restructure, and he's probably just collateral damage to that, right? Like they're changing a lot of people in higher up places.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because you mentioned the PS4, and he took over for Trenton, right? We all know that the PS3 time period was a little bit rocky for Sony. They introduced a whole new programming architecture and structural design of their system with the cell, and that was kind of like vastly different than what Microsoft was doing, and definitely from what Nintendo was doing. The PS4 went back to the x86 architecture, which is more in line with like Xbox, and they had a bit of a challenge kind of getting themselves back on top, which they are now in the PS4 era. So I think you can kind of attribute some of that stuff to Sean Layton and like his vision, right?
Yeah, no, totally. I want to know, this makes me think that, obviously I don't think it was, a mutual decision for him to step down. Cause I mean, he was Sony all the way, right? He sounded really passionate when he spoke about where they want, what they want to do and where they want to go next. I don't know, because they did. He was sort of the lead on PlayStation Studios, right? When they were going to bring some of the IP to the big screen, or making movies and television shows out of different movies, different Sony IP. And I know there was a lot of issues with the Uncharted movie being developed. I don't know how much of that played a role into it, because they haven't really got that off the ground. Or I don't know if that's doing well.
Right.
Or again, this could just be Sony doing a total corporate restructure and want to have some fresh ideas and new faces at the top of a lot of their companies. So I hope Sean Layton pops up somewhere else. I mean, I know he seems like a passionate gamer. It'd be nice if he ended up with Nintendo, right?
Oh yeah, of course, or even like Microsoft to some degree would be pretty good, Now who will be the face of Sony? Who's the face? Like Doug Bowser is the face. Like he's the new face of
Nintendo, even though we haven't really seen him other than this past E3. But his name is just cool. It just fits.
Yeah, of course. I mean, come on.
Who will we get to be the face of Sony? I don't know.
Maybe
we
shall see.
Yoshida. Come on, you got to promote him. He was great. The guys at Podcast Beyond or IGN,
she was great. Yeah,
they really made they put his name out there, right? And he sort of would come on the show, and he was sort of the face of Sony for a little while, even though Jack Tretton was like the head, and Jack Tretton like ran the E3 shows. But I will say that Sean Layton was the guy who greenlighted the State of Plays, because he didn't really like or want to be on stage a lot. Right. So he was the one pushing that we need to do more State of Plays instead of spending a lot of money on having, the whole theater and having just those big press conferences. And State of Play hasn't really done well. They haven't really did a good job.
Yeah. Well, it is, there's room for improvement. And, since we have somebody new stepping in, I'm assuming very soon, if not already, I'm sure they're going to make an announcement pretty soon about it. So, we'll see if they can shake things up a little.
We'll talk about shaking things up a little. Sony was the first of the major players, of the major Sony, Microsoft, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, to come out with the streaming service, right? They had that Gaikai technology. We talked about it, like the launch of like the PS4, and they brought out PlayStation Now. and they were the sort of leading the way, the big three with that. But now they're following because Games Pass came out and just destroyed it. Right? It's like
it's such a better value, and you can also play on your mobile phone. Right?
Yeah, I mean, you got on PC too now.
Yeah,
you got all first party games. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you have a slate of like over 100 games that you get, and you get to download it. It's not just streaming. Right. Well, it's not even streaming. It's just you get to download it and you can play it and have it natively. PS Now is crazy. It was like the pricing. I don't even remember the price. I just know I'm not doing that. It was like $40 or something, or $50 for like 2 or 3 months. I was like, that's terrible. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, not a good value.
And it's streaming, and you're streaming, so you had a lot of lag. But now they've conformed somewhat, and now you can download games, and you could stream and download games. They're adding God of War and GTA 5, which GTA 5 is a huge game because it's the first Rockstar game to be on like sort of a streaming platform. But the biggest announcement is they've gone down in price. It's now the same price as Games Pass, $9.99.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
$10 a month, $120 a year. Well, actually, even less if you buy into their, like if you buy ahead of time, right? If you sign up for a year, I think it's a little bit cheaper, if I'm not mistaken. Which is great. $60 for an annual subscription, right? So if you're gonna do the $10 a month thing, right? You're either you want to try it out, right? You want to try it out for a month. You pay $10, see how it is, and you go, wow, this is great. You're going to jump up to the $60 per year subscription, which breaks down to like $5 a month, right? Which is great. So for the price of one game per year, one AAA title per year, you get access to everything on their platform, right? That is very much a good value.
How long before they announce? I think they will be at E3 2020 when they,
I think they're going to have to be
announced. The PS5 needs to be announced somewhere.
Exactly. If not at their own convention, then at
And I think they're going to say, all right, starting with this generation in PS5 era, you're going to be able, on PS Now, you're going to have first party games day one.
Yep.
Right. I think that's when they're going to roll that out. So when God of War 2 comes out, you can either buy it full $60, you pay $60 a year, and you can have it, stream it, and download it as long as you're a subscriber to PS Now.
It's funny you're calling it God of War 2. It's probably what it's going to be called. I don't think it's going to be called God of War 2.
You don't think they're going to have an American number? Oh
no, because they already had God of War 2 and God of War 3.
God of War 2 too.
No, this is technically like God of War 7, if we're actually being fair, because they had a bunch of PSP ones and some like prequels and whatever else. Like, it's all over the place.
All right, so you think they'll just be like a surname? It's not going to be.
Yeah, it'll be like like
God of War Thunder, or you just use attacks.
God of War, like Icarus Crossing, or like Ascension of the Gods, or I don't know, something epic.
They already had God of War Ascension.
Well, it was just called Ascension, but you know what I mean. It's never going to be God of War subtitle. I'm telling you, they're not going to put a 2 in front of it. I don't think.
I think they're going to put it. I think it's just they're going to.
You want to make a Shake Shack bet in it?
I don't know how I feel.
Moving on. That's all I need to hear. The hesitation is all I need to hear. You are unsure.
I haven't thought about it.
I do. All right. Well, the window is closing on that bet.
All right, God of War 2, and then 3. Well, all right, let's move on. Something that should have it slipped under the radar. This should have been a bigger story than it was. Not a lot of people are talking about it. Mm-hmm. But there was a Wired interview, a Wired article out there with the Sony exec, and he pretty much said the cross-play beta is over, and now it's cross-play across the board now. It's out there for developers who want to do it. They can take advantage of it and do it. Now, obviously, that Wired article had to be taking place a few weeks ago and just posted recently, and it's like the whole controversy with Sony not playing nice with others as far as crossplay, that's over. You can have crossplay if you want it. And no one's talking about it.
That's fantastic, Dan. They showed up 5 hours late to the party, and
guess what?
There's like 2 people left.
They brought the bottles and they were ready to the party.
Yeah, let's keep this thing going. He's like, where you been, Sony? We've been here for like the last 5 years.
It's only been 2 people there anyway.
I mean, it's inevitable. Sony was the last one that really was dragging their feet on this. I'm glad they kicked the doors down. It's a good thing.
I guess the only game that's really going to take advantage of it, at least first, is Call of Duty, right?
Right.
We were talking about Call of Duty being cross-platform, cross-board now. And then wait till Stadia comes. Then it's like you can play against anybody: computer, Stadia, PS4.
Well, let's not get crazy, because there is always the issue of mouse and keyboard versus controller.
Well, hey, if you want to have your ass handed to you, go right ahead.
You will, because
You know what I'm saying? If you choose to, go right ahead.
But you're at a severe disadvantage, right? Because there's like inertia, there's momentum to get your gun to swing to that upper left corner or lower right corner. Where on like the PC, you can swing it immediately and you're just there, right? And there's really it's like kind of hard to get around that for consoles. So console players playing other console players, Xbox, PS4 are fine, right? Xbox, PC, PS4, PC with the mouse and keyboard, you're going to get destroyed.
You should just have player choice. If players choose to play other people on PC and get their butt handed to them, I think
they do, or at least they are looking to build in those options, and they do in most games. I think in the lobbies they will tell you which platform that person is playing on. So you can kind of make a call if you want to like stay in that game or not. So I think that will go a long way, right? You can say like, okay, these are all PC, okay, these are all console, or these are a mix of things, and you can kind of say yay or nay, and you can probably even put that in the preferences too, right? To say like, I only want console or I only want PC.
Well, it's all about player choice.
Yeah, power to the people, baby.
A game that should take advantage of crossplay that just came out, Borderlands 3.
Oh yeah.
Now I haven't picked up Borderlands 3. I know you haven't picked it up yet.
No, we haven't gotten into it.
I wasn't the biggest fan of the story. Wasn't the biggest fan of Borderlands 2. I played a little bit. I played it on PS4 through the Handsome Jack collection, and I played a little bit about it. I played a little bit on the Vita. I do like the art style. I want to get into it, but it doesn't hook me. So I just couldn't justify buying it day one. But I loved Tales from the Borderlands. Well, I love most of all the Telltale games.
Well, that was much more story driven, right?
Yeah, except for the Game of Thrones one. But the Telltale games,
everything but
Tales from the Borderlands was phenomenal. Loved that. I want a sequel, but that's probably never going to happen. And I loved it in most part because Troy Baker was a part of it. He was a voice on that, and he was phenomenal.
He's a beast. Yeah, he's definitely one of the best voice actors in video games today.
And they put that character in Borderlands 3. However, he didn't voice that character. And it was a whole big issue where Troy Baker said he never turned it down. However, they didn't want to do it the right way. And I guess the right way is go through the union. He's a union actor, and I guess they didn't want to go through the union to get him on board. I mean, they're going back and forth for he said, she said, but no one's distinct. They're not, obviously Gearbox is not going to say we didn't want to have him on as a union actor.
Right.
And Troy Baker is not going to make accusations. But you could put 2 and 2 together. They're not using him because he was a union actor.
Right, exactly.
Which is kind of weird. Why wouldn't they want to use, especially when he's a fan favorite?
Well, he's a part of SAG-AFTRA, right? And so that's like a whole thing, and like union gets you a bunch of benefits. The union is supposed to fight for you and kind of help you out. So there's things like insurance, things like guaranteed rates, like minimum rates, and amount of hours you can work per day or per week or whatnot. So like the SAG-AFTRA does like a bunch of stuff for the union in general. Should do a bunch of stuff and work in your favor, right? The thing of it is that Gearbox needs to uphold all the things that the union is demanding for their client or their I guess it's client in that case, right? The union says like this, like he says Troy Baker can't work more than 6 hours a day or whatever it is, right? So they have to have shorter studio sessions, right, to do all that recording and whatnot. And someone said along the line, we don't want to have to deal with all that, right? Now, it's interesting because Texas law says you can't discriminate against union or non-union workers, right? You have to hire them regardless of whether they are in a union or not. So that kind of adds a little bit of a wrinkle to this. So it doesn't look good on Gearbox's part, I don't think, right? Because, like you said, Troy Baker's beloved, right? Like, nobody doesn't like Troy Baker. He's a great actor. He's like AAA. He's like top of the heap. So
maybe he'll come back in Borderlands 4.
Maybe. I mean, I feel like he would be amenable to working with them again if they, go through the proper channels and, they abide by all the union demands. Like, sure. Like, he seems like a decent enough fella to kind of rise above the whole situation.
So hopefully they can. I just wanted Tales of the Borderlands 2. That's all I want. Mm-hmm. Telltale is back, but different.
Telltale is back, yeah.
Back, but different. We talked about that before. I just want Tales from Borderlands 2. That's all I want. Mm-hmm. So I will pick up Borderlands 3 eventually. It will be one of my Black Friday purchases. I'll be getting this game for the PS4 because if you bought it on Xbox, the greatest, the most powerful console in the world.
You're right about that fact, Dan. Shout that to the heavens, right? The people up in the nosebleeds didn't hear it.
It will overheat. It will overheat.
Well, that's not the Xbox's fault. All right, that is a programming error. That is a programming error on the developer's part. All right.
So I will be buying this. I'll be buying this on the most efficient console in the world, the PS4.
It's funny how you quickly forget the issues with Anthem and it soft locking the system and possibly breaking your system when that game launched.
Don't make this like exclusive to the PlayStation.
Well, I'm just saying the PlayStation is not without its issues.
If Anthem was on the Switch, you would have a coaster. You would have a new coaster for your table. Yeah. Okay, so that was an Anthem problem. It ain't.
Well, I'm just saying. The PlayStation is not without its issues. That's all.
It hasn't been overheating to play Borderlands 3.
Right. So this is definitely bad. They need to put this patch out like now, right? Because an overheat is bad. An overheat usually means, all right, they probably have something in place in the system. It's getting too hot. It'll shut down as a safety measure to try and cool itself off, right? But sometimes they fail. And the fact that it is overheating is bad because you're wearing down on the parts a lot more. The processor, the RAM, and all that. The graphics card needs to be at a nice cool temperature to run effectively. So definitely not good. And I can almost assure that Gearbox will have a patch out, hopefully within the week. If they know what's good.
Well, this would explain why Ninja hasn't been streaming it on Mixer.
Oh, he doesn't want to overheat his equipment.
He doesn't want to overheat his equipment.
That's fair.
Well, speaking of Ninja, segue. Yeah. Let's talk about Ninja. He's on Mixer, and we've talked about that several times.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I was like, he did it for the money.
Of course he did it for the money.
He had a huge base on Twitch.
Yeah.
He made his name. Why would he go to Mixer, some small platform that may, he may not get that user base back, right? Mm-hmm. But he made a lot of money. And I'm not gonna lie, if I was him, I would have did it too. And I would have did it strictly for the money.
Yeah. Why would you not? But you're not gonna move if there's no money or if there's not enough money.
But apparently, money wasn't the only issue. Mm-hmm. They really. I mean, Twitch is not without its problems.
Yeah,
Twitch has a lot of issues, especially with their major streamers who, they have issues. Like when a major streamer does something stupid, They don't get suspended or taken off like smaller streamers or mid.
No, because it hurts their platform, right? You know, the number one, number two guy is banned for a month because he did some stupid stuff online. They're like, nah. I mean, you can make the same correlation. Like it's the same thing that happens in pro sports, right? You know, you're like a Tom Brady or you're a LeBron James, and you do something stupid, like really stupid. They're gonna probably look the other way because you're Tom Brady, right? You know, it's the same thing here, right? If he's not playing in a game, if Ninja isn't streaming, then people aren't going to come to the platform, right? Because he's the one that brings everybody to the stream.
I know, but you got to make an example of your top dog.
I 100% agree.
And make sure the smaller streamers don't follow suit and do stupid stuff.
Well, that's true. That's true, right? They're like, well, this guy's doing it. Maybe I can do it too.
They're not above the law. You're not above the law.
The problem is if the lesser streamer does that, they're gonna get the ban because they only have 10,000, 20,000.
I know, but personally, it's gonna hurt them more than it would hurt someone like Ninja. I mean, Ninja would you?
I 100% agree. I 100% agree.
But I guess their issue with Twitch seems to be just they were asking for certain things and they were giving feedback, and they just felt like they weren't being listened to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they weren't listening, and they were open dialogue, but they took it on deaf's ear type of thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's kind of one in one ear out the other,
Yeah.
So
they just think they didn't think they could grow anymore, and then obviously when someone throws a boatload of money your way, you're going to leave.
Yeah, like, hey, there's this other competing platform which seems really promising. I'm going to go ahead and go over here. Sorry, guys. I mean, like Amazon owns Twitch, right? Amazon's still doing well, and they haven't taken like a huge dip from it. It certainly hurts when you're number one guy. It certainly hurts when your Tom Brady goes to the Atlanta Falcons or something. You're gonna definitely feel it a little bit, but they can definitely rally. They have a lot of good people on their platform. So hopefully this isn't the beginning of the end of the great egress of people on Twitch, because if some other top people move over to Mixer, it legitimizes Mixer's platform, right? And then everyone's going to be like, well, I can just go over to Mixer. They have the same tools.
Well, look, this is like Chris Jericho going from WWE to AEW. It legitimizes AEW.
Exactly.
And I do want to see some more people who aren't being utilized in WWE come to AEW, where they can maybe be a bigger star, and they have some competition, so WWE can actually listen to its fans and stick with continuity and have better storylines. Same thing here, where I hope some guys from Twitch, a lot of these mid-tier guys from Twitch, go to Mixer, and Mixer gets legitimized by having they have a big time streamer and Ninja, and have some like medium tier streamers, and then Twitch can sort of say, hey, we got to get our act together and make sure that the rules go for everybody, so we can keep some of these mid tier streamers, which is the heart and blood of any sort of community, right? It's not just the top guy. You need that middle class community to keep everything flowing. So I want to see Mixer do better, just so they can push Twitch to do better.
Right. Healthy competition.
Competition. Let's end with this. I just came back from Universal Studios a couple of weeks ago, and I had a great time. But they got some old rides. I mean, I went on an ET ride that's been there forever. I've never been on an ET ride, so this is my first time being an ET ride. God knows how long they're going to keep the ET ride up. There was not a lot of people waiting for the ET ride because
it's what, 30, almost 40 years old. I think it is.
Yeah,
40 years old. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'm sure. I'm 100% sure a lot of kids don't have no idea who ET is. Like kids.
No.
Right, so that's our sort of generation. Like ET would have been big. I wish I would have saw ET. I wish I would have won the ET ride when I was like 10 years old. That would have been great. That ride, that ride was pretty good. It just seemed old. But I'm glad that Universal is mixing it up. They put the Harry Potter rides. We talked about briefly, I'm sure, maybe I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, about the partnership with Universal and Nintendo to have like a Nintendo themed world
Yep.
in Universal Studios.
Yep.
There was some pictures leaked from the construction of a Super Mario 3D World type land in Universal Japan.
Yeah.
So I'm psyched for this.
Same.
This looks awesome, and I think they're coming. The ride will be open in spring 2020, and I think they're going to be coming to Orlando in 2021 and 2022. I could be wrong about the time, but as soon as it's in Orlando, I'm going back.
Yeah, man.
I'm going back.
I mean, we have to get down there and kind of see what's up, and like it's this in combination with the new movie coming out from Illumination Studios, I think.
Yes,
I think that's right. So there's going to be a good Super Mario Brothers movie coming out. Say what you want about the first one. Some people do
classic,
love it.
Baby. It was so bad, it was so good.
Right?
It was bad, it was good.
I still haven't seen it. I gotta watch it.
I won't spoil it for you.
Oh, you won't? Okay. I think I know how it ends already. I know everything about the movie. I just haven't seen it. Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit of a renaissance for Nintendo right now, so that's it's pretty solid. But yeah, I think we're gonna end on that note. That is episode 187 in the books. And before we go, guys, we had mentioned it before that our October contest is in full swing. So if you missed the secret code this episode, go back, listen again, and you can take that code and you can enter either by DMing us or private messaging us, or you can email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. So send us those entries. If you want to interact with us, and we know you do, you can do so on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. So please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.